Welcome to the 25th anniversary of the Knox County Parks and Recreation Holiday Festival of Lights. This interactive narration is the newest addition to our walk-through light display. Join us as we take you and your family on a journey to uncover one of the greatest holiday traditions ever. Our story is called The Not So Usual Ringing of the Bell. Let's begin with how all good stories begin. Not with once upon a time, but rather, once there was a little boy. Do you ever wonder what it's really like on the eve of Christmas at the North Pole? Santa's workshop full of the hustle and bustle of his elves, all singing Christmas carols, hammering or sewing the last pieces of toys with rhythmic sips of their favorite hot cocoa. On the eve of Christmas every year, after the last toy has been finished and the room falls silent, each elf picks a single item that they made to deliver to Santa, who adds them to his bag himself. Santa then selects the special child who should receive the gift, and the elf who put the most love into their gift would get to ring Santa's silver bell, kicking off the epic trip around the world on Christmas night. To almost everyone in the world, the holidays are the jolliest time of year. But that's especially true for one particular elf named Knox. Knox was a toy maker who loved designing and building unique toys you can't find in a store. He could carve anything out of wood, forge metals, and even learned how to blow glass into any shape. But his ultimate love for toy making came on Christmas morning, when a good little boy or girl somewhere around the world would wake up to a toy made with the magic of Christmas and with love by Knox the Elf himself. It was a quiet evening in Santa's workshop, and all the other elves had wrapped up their last toys and headed down to the grand celebration. Knox had just finished the last details of the most exquisite gift he had ever made. It was beautifully crafted with wood, metal, glass, and a few touches of hand-sewn items that his friends had helped him with. He checked the time, and in an instant, he started to panic. Knox had to get his last toy down to Santa, and fast. But there was a problem. It was so large and so heavy, there was no way Knox could carry it all the way across the North Pole to Santa's headquarters. He had to find a way to move the toy, and fast. So he flew down the path to find something, anything that could help him. Off in the distance, he could see some new reindeer training in the forest. They were frolicking and dancing about, hopeful that one day they would be chosen to help Santa with his Christmas deliveries or help Mrs. Claus with all her errand trips. Sometimes she would even make her herd special reindeer cookies. The North Pole really was the jolliest place on Earth, but it wouldn't be jolly anymore if one good little boy or girl woke up with nothing on Christmas Day. Knox the Elf could not let that happen. He kept making his way hastily down the path when he saw one of his best friends, the penguin. Penguin knew all the best fishing spots. Hey, maybe he could help. Penguin slid off his iceberg to greet Knox. He could instantly sense that something was wrong. Knox frantically told Penguin the whole story of his perfect gift and how he just had to get it to Santa. Penguin agreed his friend was in a predicament and said, "It's too bad we can't just slide it down from the hill like I do on my iceberg." That was it! The wagon! Knox knew exactly where to find the perfect red wagon. He darted past the Christmas carolers singing in the square and headed straight for the barn. The farm on the outskirts of Santa's headquarters was one of Mrs. Claus' favorite places to be. It was where she would gather all her ingredients, eggs, milk, honey, and even peanuts for peanut butter to make her signature cookies. As Knox made it to the barn, he flung open the doors, and there he found it. The red wagon. It was just as he imagined it would be, from the stories of elf adventures that he had always heard but never experienced for himself. The flyer really lived up to its name. Fast and sleek with its jet black wheels and shiny red paint as it flew down the drive and into the workshop. He carefully but quickly loaded up his gift as the precious cargo it was, and headed straight to the grand celebration that was already in full swing. He zoomed past his friends playing ball down by the water as the first flakes of snow landed on his little cold elf nose. He was late. The Christmas tree had already been lit, and there was Santa making his way into the woods with his bag full of gifts that each elf had hand-selected as their favorite. Before he even knew what he was doing, Knox yelled down the lane, "Santa, stop! There's one more gift!" He yelled so loudly that even the nearby train stopped in its tracks. Santa turned to hear what all the commotion was about and caught a glimpse of the load Knox had on his wagon, and he slowly began to grin. His most merry grin, the kind of smile that warms the soul of even the grumpiest or most panicked elf from the inside out. Knox sincerely apologized to Santa for being so late, and he excitedly told him the tale of all the adventures he had and the friends that had helped him along the way. He jumped in the wagon and pulled it down the candy cane lane to the sleigh, where he presented the most precious gift he had ever made to Santa himself. It was then that Santa laughed for the first time that evening. He ho-ho-hoed so loud the earth shook and rocked the celebration. Santa paused, reached into his pocket, and pulled out a one-of-a-kind, beautiful, shiny, silver bell. Knox was the chosen elf to ring in the Christmas journey. Santa looked across the magical celebration and all the joy and cheer that always comes with Christmas time. And he proclaimed to the crowd, "The true magic behind the holiday isn't the bells. It isn't the gifts. It isn't the bright and shining lights. It's the love given by each of us to one another that makes the magic of the holidays last far beyond the twinkling lights and evening carols."